Hello everyone, welcome to Redbust US channel. Today, July 2nd, 2020, we'll do a quick update on H4 EAD situation. There have been a couple of changes in the last week or so. So we'll cover that in this article. So what we'll look in this article is the spring 2020 agenda that came up and what's happening with the injunction order and the DACA document that was filed. So firstly, there was a spring regulatory agenda that came up, a couple of days ago, and this is, essentially a list of items that the administration publishes, listing out what is the priority of things that they plan to do in the upcoming months. So as you can see, the agencies, by agency, you can see the list of items for spring 2020, and as we highlighted, the you can see removing H4 dependent spouses is part of Spring 2020 agenda as well. And this is not new. This has been there for quite some time now. What is new is only the change in the date. Yeah. So you can see that the publication ID has changed. Nothing else has changed. And the NPRM date, notice for proposed rulemaking, has changed to September 2020. So this was March and this now moved to September. So that's the only change that we see. Rest of other things remain the same. So what it means is that it's just that they plan to publish the rule for public to give comments in September. And you can see that the current status, if you look at the regulatory dashboard for Department of Homeland Security, you can see that it was submitted on February 2019, and it's still pending review. And the pending review is basically for EO 12866 regulatory review. That's nothing but a regulation in place or a process step, I would say, where Office of Management and Budget or Budget Management Office basically looks at that and sees if that regulation makes sense or not, right? So this has been stuck with them for quite some time, almost more than a year and a half, close to a year and a half now. Nothing has changed because what we hear is they couldn't justify the cost and benefit of canceling this H4 EAD. That's why it's been sent back and going back and forth because the numbers are stack up against. So canceling this is not going to do any good. That's the reason it's being delayed. But their intent is clear. What is the important takeaway from here is still the DHS intent has not changed. They still plan to remove H4 EAD at some point. They have not turned back on that. This is what they updated the court as well. Now, the second part is the injunction order, right? There is a lawsuit that's going on between Save Jobs USA and immigration, other parties like Immigration Voice and DHS and all of these, right? DHS. So this is the latest update, right? So as you can see in the court updates, they submitted for injunction response on May 8th, right? After that, there is no update. We are in June and July, almost in 2 months. The only update that you see below is basically the document that was filed by Immigration Voice, which is actually acting as an intervener. Intervener is nothing but a party that is in the best interest of both the parties who joins litigation, right? So an injunction decision, there is nothing. So what Save Jobs has asked is, to basically put an injunction order, meaning, issue an order to stop H4ED immediately until this court is resolved. And the reason for that they're asking is, this has been delayed for years, and they want some protections, right, for their affected group of people. But court has not responded. Usually injunction orders are taken very seriously, and if there is a significant damage done for one of the parties, then they will look at it. But again, looking at the way DHS the response from court, it doesn't look like it's a very, very high priority thing for them. Otherwise they would have responded by now. So that's on the injunction part. We still continue to wait. The second one is the document that was filed by by intervener, which is basically Immigration Voice and other parties, right? So what they did is they filed on June 23rd a Supreme Court DACA judgment document. It's a historic judgment that came on June 23rd, and it's very positive for DACA. DACA holders, right? So this is what the judgment was in favor of them. And one of the important things, the reason they filed this document is Save Jobs USA in all their previous discussions or their briefs, they mentioned that DHS exceeded their authority and they in issuing EADs, right? And EADs are not just H4 EADs. This includes the EADs given for DACA holders as well. So that is what they always used to, and also they reference this in the past in some of these litigation documents, right? So now Immigration Voice wants to make it clear that from the DACA decision, that Supreme Court did not evaluate the work authorization granting authority for DHS. Yeah. So this is what they wanted to clarify, because in the court opinion there is clearly a statement telling that they have not really evaluated on this front. Yeah. That's what they wanted to convey. So this is the actual document, intervener's document that says, as you see, the one in green, it did not evaluate the issue of alleged illegality of the benefits, including work authorization with the DACA program. And they asked to refer page number 18. So this is what has been filed on June 23rd. And if you look at the actual Supreme Court document, this is the actual Supreme Court opinion document, and says clearly on the page number 18 that we do not evaluate the claims challenging the explanation, the correctness of illegality conclusion. So this is what they're trying to refer to. So all in all, what Immigration Voice and the interveners, or the third parties who are actually being part of the neutral parties in the case, are trying to tell that is so the DHS authority was never really evaluated, and you can't use that to basically make your decisions or judgment in the case. So that's about it, folks. So as of today, nothing has changes. You can still continue to file H4EADs. No, there is no rule on that. There has been some speculations that H4EADs were, because of H4EAD, the Trump executive order, excluded, or included H4 holders as well as part of the ban. So again, these are all some speculations based on what rumors came in. We don't know the reality. We'll have to wait and see how this goes. Yeah. So do subscribe for updates. Again, thank you for watching. Subscribe for updates.